Hi, everybody. Thank you for starting your week off with us. I am Diana Alvear. Welcome to Up to Speed Live, and we're going to start off with a little bit of gratitude today. We want to thank all V-teamers for the hard work that you've been doing throughout the pandemic, but especially those of you who have been coming into work day in and day out. We are talking our retail teams, our field techs, and all of you who have not necessarily been working from home. We could not have thrived without you. Okay, but now with more V-teamers coming into our corporate workspaces, we've got Sam Hammock and Craig Silliman here today to answer your top questions on Work Forward, and we're going to talk about how we're getting ready to activate our hybrid plans in the U.S. And very importantly, if you have questions, feel free to ask them on Twitter. We're going to do our best to answer them during this episode. All right, so let's summarize the recent changes to our COVID-19 mask policy. Earlier this month, we updated Verizon's U.S. mask policy to align with the CDC's latest recommendations. Now, this significantly reduces instances where masks are required in our workplaces while offering you the personal option to wear a mask at work if you choose to do so. So let's recap. The CDC has designated each U.S. county as having a low, medium, or high COVID-19 community level. And this is all based on a number of metrics about hospitalizations and hospital capacity and case numbers. So let's break it down. High community level, if you are working indoors at a Verizon worksite in a county that the CDC designates as, quote, high community level, or in an area where masks are required by local law, you must wear a mask regardless of vaccination status. Now let's look at the next level, medium or low community level. In a county that the CDC designates as low or medium community level, masks will be optional unless required by law, and employees can choose to wear or not, whether or not to wear a mask. Now, when you certify through the Return to Office tool and you confirm your work location for the day, it's going to let you know whether or not a mask is required at your location. Now, that is why every employee must certify through this RTO tool whenever you work outside your home so that you get the most updated information on mask requirements for your particular work location. And I want to reinforce that in areas where masks are optional, it is okay if you choose to continue to wear a mask. It's all about mutual respect, right? Okay, so now that things have changed, we're going to catch up with Kelly Kurtzman. She's our Senior Vice President of Consumer Field Sales to hear what V-teamers in our stores should expect with this latest update.
Hey V-teamers, it's Kelly Kurtzman here at the Verizon store in Clifton with an update on some recent Work Forward changes I wanted to make sure you're all aware of. The first update is regarding our Return to Office tool. We will continue to use the tool daily, but I'm happy to share some useful enhancements. The tool will now display important information regarding whether or not a face covering is required while in our retail locations. As you know, we always work to put our customers first. So if a customer requests that you wear a mask, please do so. And if you would prefer to wear a mask, by all means, continue to wear one. And we'd love for you to please use the Verizon provided one. These designations can and likely will change, so we don't expect you to monitor this daily. That's why it's so important to use the RTO tool. It's going to tell you if you need a mask, and it's whether it's required at your location or if it's optional. So when in doubt, scan the QR code at the worksite to see the current mask requirements. I want to take a moment and acknowledge the work you've put in every day helping customers stay connected at a time when it's never been more important. We see it and we appreciate you. Let's all stay safe.
Thank you, Kelly, so much. Always so good to see your smiling face. And I personally am excited to see more smiling V-teamers in our stores. And on that note, speaking of smiles, let's bring in Sam Hammock and Craig Silliman into the conversation. Hello. We're going to be answering questions that we have received from employees through our Ask HR and our Work Forward channel. So welcome to both of you. So nice to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Diana. Yeah. Okay, so Sam, I'm going to start with you. Obviously, it was so great to see so many V-teamers in our offices last week. I wasn't even there for a couple of those days, and I felt like I was there because I was looking at all the pictures. So let's talk about what the latest is as hybrid employees in the U.S. begin to dust off their office routines and pack their bags and test out those hybrid plans.
Yeah, it was so amazing to see so many smiling faces and people last week. And so as people have been really taking to heart, testing out those schedules in March, practicing commutes, practicing packing a bag, Remembering chargers, I heard, is going to be a struggle, so we'll put that on our list. But just people coming together. I even had someone say to me, I weirdly was excited to wait in line for my lunch because they got to have those organic moments and talk to each other. And so we're all learning, we're making those adjustments. We are finding those moments that matter for each of us. And we'll come together and we will have those moments again. So super exciting. And I'll just remind everybody again about what that timeline looks like. So March, we have been going ahead, we're dusting off those schedules, we're getting a practice at everything, but we're also learning with our other teams. None of us succeed alone. And so knowing who we're gonna be working with and collaborating with and doing that together, that's what we're practicing in March. Starting April 4th, our official activation of those plans is going live. And I would just continue to echo, Diana called out a special thanks to those who have been in the field, in the stores, even those people who have been meeting with our clients, our customers, our partners in person. Huge thank you to all of you because you have been keeping all of this going and showing us how we can make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. I had to laugh while you were talking about not forgetting things because I'm going to blame daylight saving time. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have my badge. What am I gonna do? And then it turned out I had it. I'm just not, I need more coffee. So thankfully we've got coffee here. So thank you so much for outlining those details for us. And obviously as groups continue to test and learn to see what's best, we asked Aparna, she's the Senior Vice President of Business Markets, to share how her team is navigating the hybrid model and they're still caring for and connecting with customers no matter where they are. Let's hear Aparna.
Hello team, hello from Basking Ridge. As you can see, I'm here today, and tomorrow I'm going to be in another city. I've started traveling, getting out there for the right reasons, meeting with customers and meeting with all the employees. And so are my peers across VBG. For the right reasons, we're started to get out there because thanks to all the initiatives that our field force is taking, we've already started learning what it means to be living and making the most of a hybrid world as America opens up. What have we learned thus far? Well, a ton. Number one, people buy from people. So oftentimes you need to be in front of that customer trying to sell. I have an example just from last week where Chris Vargas was able to close a very, very sticky prospect who wasn't budging until we went face to face and on the spot closed the deal. Lots of examples of that. But also more importantly, when you're sitting in front of that customer, say in Oklahoma, and you need to dial a friend, you need to get that specialist on security. Well, you know what? One click of a button, Blue Jeans is there for you. And you can close that deal right there with that specialist sitting with you. Isn't that awesome? The other thing we're learning is how to deal with those awkward moments when you walk into that customer's office. You don't know whether you're shaking hands or hugging, or is that just a wave? Well, always follow and take the cue from that customer, and safety first, always. What's also exciting me is just folks, all our teammates starting to come back into work. I've been lucky to be parts of blitzes where we meet up every Wednesday. We call our customers, we set those appointments, we learn from each other. And that's especially important because we have so many new employees and new teammates who need to learn from us, and we're learning so much from them. Now, all that I talked about was for our teammates in the US. As the world opens up, the teammates outside of the US will obviously be learning more about what the policies are, what it is that we are going to be doing there. So look out for that. And in the meantime, I will see each one of you out there in the field. So excited about it.
Thank you so much, Aparna, and safe travels to you and your teams and the rest of you that are starting to travel. So, of course, it's great to see teams make the most of work forward and lean into that flexibility that it offers. And I'm going to invite into the conversation Craig, and we just had a really funny, awkward moment that may start to happen to you. I was like, Craig, I really wanted to hug you, but I wanted to ask. He's like, give me a hug. So we figured we'd a hug live on the show.
It's so great to see you in person,
so good
Diana.
to see you.
I'm the same way. I try and hug my screen when you're on the other side.
And I've learned to ask because I tend pretend I'm Latina and I'm like, come on in. And then I'm like, wait, let's make sure everybody feels okay. So now that we've gotten the awesome stuff out of the way, let's talk a little bit about our real estate updates, because a lot of questions are coming out of that. So how has your team prepared work locations to get ready for more V-teamers that are heading back?
Yeah, and we've done a lot, Diana, to get ready as we all come back. You're going to notice a couple of things. First of all, we want to make sure that everything is safe. Aparna just said that. So we have weekly and daily cleaning protocols, and you're going to notice hand sanitizer stations and sanitizing wipe stations all over. So if you feel like you want to do some extra cleaning, we have the tools for you there. Secondly, as we come in this hybrid environment, we've set up different workstations for you. So you're going to bring in your laptop for those of you who've been working in a hybrid mode. And as Sam said, make sure you bring in your charger. If you want to have other kind of things like a mouse or the other types of appendages, bring those in with you as well. But then we will have docking stations. We have desks that have double monitors. We have single monitors. If you don't want any screen, you just want to work off your laptop, we have that flexibility so you can work the way you want to work. Then thirdly, it's really important that as you come in, you use the Book a Space tools. It's really simple. It's 1, 2, 3. Use the Book a Space tool. Secondly, certify your COVID status on the RTO tool. And then third, when you get there at the desk, scan in. We want to make sure that we can all come in and work as efficiently as possible. We don't want to be all walking around the office looking for a space or finding that someone's sitting in a space we booked. So make sure you use that really simple 1, 2, 3 process with the Book a Space. And then finally, if you have any questions, in a lot of our locations, we have in-person community managers who can answer any questions you may have. If you're in some of our smaller locations, we have virtual community managers who can answer any questions you have. So don't worry if you don't remember everything when you show in, except the Book a Space. Don't forget that, but once you get here, we have lots of people who can help you answer questions.
That's great. All right, so let's be honest. It's lunchtime here on the East Coast and at Basking Ridge, so you know what's on my mind. Can you share a little bit more about how your team is ramping up services in the locations that have food halls and any updates on amenities?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'm going to be heading down to the cafeteria as soon as we're done here to grab a salad. And here over the course of March, we're bringing staff back. And as we bring more and more staff into the food halls, we'll be opening up more and more of the food stations. So by April 4th, when we're all coming in more often, we'll have in most of the locations, most of the food stations open. So you're going to see more and more options open as the month goes on, and we'll really have a lot available for all of you at the beginning of April. We also have new offerings in our marketplaces and our vending machines, so you're going to have a lot of different food options. And then finally, and this is important for me because I know some of you may be like me, that as we open up these new food stations, I'm going to be tempted to go from the salads to the pizza station or the food truck. So our fitness centers are opening up too, and it's great. I'm seeing more and more people there. I ran into our friend Andy Choi here in the Basking Ridge Fitness Center last week. Your boss, Jim Gerace, keeps setting impossible targets for me on the stationary bikes down the gym. It's great. I ended my last week on Friday with a workout down in the fitness center. I think Sam did the same, and it's a great thing to start your day, end your day, or just kind of get your blood going in the middle of the day to kind of get your mind pumping and ready to get back to work. So a lot of things here in the office for all of us. It's just making it a lot of fun to be here.
Oh, that's so good to hear. And congratulations on all the workouts, Andy. I had no idea. That's why he's looking fit and strong. Okay. So what do V-teamers need to keep in mind when coming into the office from a tech perspective? So should I be bringing everything? Because I bring currently like my laptop, my chargers, all that kind of stuff. Is there anything in place, or do they need to bring it all?
Yeah, again, we have docking stations, we have desk space for you, but you need to bring in your laptop. And then if you use a mouse, if you want to use a supplemental keyboard, bring those in. Make sure you pack your chargers, as Sam said. Don't forget those. You bring in all of those other amenities, but then we have a docking station for you to use, and you can use it with screens, without screens, but don't forget your mouse, your keyboard, your chargers if you want to use those things.
Okay, sounds good. I'll make a list of the things I need to bring in. So a lot of us started during the pandemic. I know that I've said that a million times, but it's true. I mean, when you start virtually and then you begin to come into the office, there's a lot to think about, a lot to pack, a lot to plan for. Some people have changed locations. So let's talk about badges.
Yes.
What do employees need to do to make sure that they can access their work locations?
Yeah, so if if you've moved during COVID, if you were already with Verizon, but you moved during COVID and that was handled by the real estate team, then our security team has already mapped your badge over to your new location, so you don't need to do anything there. But if you're new and for some reason you haven't received a badge, or you lost your badge, it's somewhere there at the bottom of your closet with all your former work clothes, just reach out. We have a security site. You can go in. There's all the information you need there about how to apply for a new badge, and our security team will get you set up for that right away.
Okay, another big question that people have had is, where can V-Teamers check out what's open and available at their particular workspace or location?
Yep, as in all of these things, if you go to the Work Forward site, we have a real estate microsite there that tells you all the amenities, what's open in all the different locations. You'll see all the different amenities we have and what you can expect when you come into the office. Use that Work Forward site for all the things that Sam's talked to you about, but also for all the real estate amenities. And then finally, don't forget in all of this, the 1, 2, 3 of book a space, the RTO tool, and then scan in. We were talking about the cafeteria. We actually ran out of food one day last week in the cafeteria, which on one hand, that's a good thing, because what it was a lot more people came into the office than we were expecting, so it's great to see the take up. But because we didn't know people were coming in, we hadn't ramped up enough food. If we know you're coming in, then we'll have all the amenities scaled to accommodate everyone. It's really important you use those book a space tools so that we can make sure we have all the facilities scaled up, whether it's food, the desk, everything else, to accommodate the people that are coming in that day. If you don't tell us you're coming in, then we can't have all those things ready for you.
All right, sounds good. So Sam, I'm going to bring you into the conversation again. You can stay where you're at, but as hybrid V-Teamers are getting used to their new routines, what are the protocols and procedures they need to keep in mind?
Yeah, no, great question. So as Craig said, it's really as easy as 1, 2, 3. So use that book a space. Go ahead and reserve your spot. Use the RTO tool. So do your daily certification. We have simplified it for you. It is one quick question now, even easier. And number 3 is go ahead and check in with Book a Space once you arrive at your desktop. You can use your phone or your laptop to do that. And then, pack all the goodies, get used to what we're now calling the great awkward. So Craig, we'll practice. See, you don't have to, I like Craig, but I don't need to hug him. So, we'll all practice like the great awkward and getting used to all of those things. So it's a really exciting time.
Well, it's going to go from the great awkward to the great awesome when everybody starts to collaborate a little bit more and see each other and stuff. That'll be so fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to seeing our retail V-Teamers smiles again. Yeah. They worked so hard. Our field techs have worked so hard. Everybody's really it took everybody to get us to this point, and we thank them all for that. So I have one last question, if you're cool with it. So Sam, when can we expect your next Post-it for positivity?
Okay, so there is a fresh Post-it out there today if you want to go check on it, and I won't give it away, but it does have to do with optimism, so talking about positivity, and so you can go ahead and check that out. I put it on Instagram. There also is a video from yesterday that I posted with my son, taking advantage of what I really hope is the last snowfall. I'm really ready for spring, and so it was a bit of a blooper. So that's out there as well.
Yeah, I'm laughing because I told Sam that when I watched her video, I almost woke up my napping kids because I was laughing so hard. So she's a great follow on IG. She's a great working mom follow. Okay, so that is all we have today. And as Sam and Craig shared, obviously we're all learning, we're adjusting in real time. We have to figure out the flow that works for us, but we're gonna do it. We're going to continue to find new ways to improve and grow together. So if you have any questions or thoughts on Work Forward, of course, reach out to askworkforward@verizon.com, and you can share your insights, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. And again, as you heard this dynamic duo, remember the 3 steps before you come into the office, okay? You want to reserve that workspace through Book a Space. You want to certify through that RTO tool, which has been simplified, yay. And 3, check in with Book a Space when you arrive. Get those necessities in your bag now, the chargers, the laptop, the keyboards, the mouse. Whatever you need to be productive and comfortable in the offices, even if you want to take a framed picture of your kids or your spouse, I'm planning to do that, and they'll just be with me wherever I go. So we're so excited to see you. We know that you are excited about seeing your colleagues as well. So we're going to leave you with some photos of happy V-Teamers reuniting with friends at work. It's been tons of awe moments all over social media, seeing everybody. And of course, we want to see your pics, so you can share them with us at good@verizon.com. So Sam and Craig, thank you so much for being with us today. You made me smile. There's like this great vibe in the air today. It's just good energy. I'm Diana Alvear. Stay safe, and until next time, you're up to speed.